Oh, what a wonderful day and what a wonderful uh, opportunity I've got today to talk with my longtime friend, but also role model, mentor, hero that got me really mentally organized for success in my early career as I transitioned out of a completely different industry. He was one of the bright stars in the organization and had a way with words that was just transformative. And so we've been big friends over the years and had lots of fun together. And he's like my brother from Dallas, Big Bill Orender. So welcome, Bill.
Larry, it's fun to be on a call with you, and you're a bright spot in my life because we do have a lot of laughs together, and we shed a lot of tears in the early days.
Yes.
And you're a great friend that I treasure. So thank you very much. It truly is an honor, even beyond this, and this is thank you.
You're welcome, Bill. And let people know where's Bill Orender? What's Bill Orender's life like today? Because I know it is above and beyond 1,000 times above and beyond what you, or a million times you expected. You know, the Bible says God will bless you abundantly beyond, and the things, plans he has for you abundantly beyond anything you can even imagine. It's almost like he dares us because he made us competitive, but it's almost like he dares us to turn our imagination loose to think of that same, because no matter what you can come up with, what I've got for you is abundantly beyond that. But you're living a really abundantly beyond life when you talk about quality of life and resources, people, for any way you can measure experiences. You're living that life. So describe that for people because it's just amazing what you've been able to achieve.
Well, thank you, Larry. I want to make sure people understand it's not a surprise life I'm living. It was a planned life. This was planned decades ago in the early formative days of my career in the financial services industry, where I read a book called Think and Grow Rich. And just recently found out where Charles Stanley read it, Matthew McConaughey read it, Art Williams, a friend of ours, read it. It's an amazing number of people set on a journey of life, but you first got to decide the kind of life you want and then find a business that will fund, if you indeed, that life.
Yes.
And, we've been financially independent for many, many years now. And what that is Chris Rock says, financial independence is options. And people that are not financially independent have no options. And options mean two things to me: plenty of money and plenty of time. And those two things are very rarely put together. Most people make a lot of money, but they have no time. And a lot of people that have time have no money. When you can have that rare instance of both having time and money, you're pursuing the life and living the life you want to live. And that's the kind of life Carol and I are living today. We have the house of our dreams, and now it's getting too big as we get into another chapter of our life. We got a lake house that we adore. But the biggest thing, Larry, I enjoy doing is building memories with my family. And I think that if you use your money to create memories, it'll never go to waste. And it will never ruin you. You can't have things that will make you feel better or try to give you prestige. Those things don't do it. And so the money we spend really comes in spending money for the family and going on family trips and family reunions that we enjoy. We enjoy traveling before all this hit, of course. We've been to Hawaii, we've been to Europe, many. I went to the Holy Land, Larry, which was an incredible trip. You recommend
that?
Oh my gosh, Larry, transformative. The Bible is never the same again because you were there. You saw those cities. You saw where Jesus walked. You saw where Jesus was entombed. You saw where he was resurrected. And you saw where he performed the miracles. And you saw where he was crucified. And to be able to have the time to do that, but also we do a lot of work with Bible studies. I have several Bible studies a week that I enjoy. Like one guy said, you're teaching a Bible study, and he questioned, you are teaching a Bible study? I said, no, I'm leading. He said, oh, I'm more relaxed now. Yeah, I'm not sure he was confident in my theological ability, but I love that, Larry. I love spending money on my kids, grandkids. I love spending money on building those memories. And the other thing too is we've been able to, I believe in high school education, Christian education. I believe you got to get them young from a Christian moral upbringing. And by the time they get to college, it's too late. And so we've been very pleased for 25 or 30 years now to be a big donor in tuition for this one specific Christian school that we send kids to over the years. I'm not sure how many, probably 30 kids that we've had go through that school system and go on to better lives, better spiritual upbringings too. So, I just enjoy, favorite time of my life is Carol and I going to our lake house just together and being with my best friend. And to me, like the founder of our company said one time, Larry, you can win all areas of your life. And that's the thing. Most people are afraid if they win in business, they lose their family, they lose their spiritual life. But as you know, if you're centered on God and you're centered on his being the master of your life, all areas of your life are in sync. And so that's the things we enjoy now. Just and I love our business to people. I love calls like this. We had training this morning, and I love doing that.
And the thing is, though, as you come up, you're just trying to get yourself established. And why it had to be a huge deal for you when you got the house that you're in there. I mean, you had a couple of them, but it has to be a big thing for you personally to be able to finally get yourself situated. And the house is kind of like a platform for you enjoy it, but it can be a platform for helping other people, for helping allowing your kids to grow in a protected space, bring their kids over and things. How have you, what was it like for you to finally move into like the houses of your dreams type thing?
Larry, that's a great question. And again, it's progressive. And it's the house of my wife's dreams. And I remember the day she found this house, and now I loved my house. I loved the house we were in, and we came to look at this house. We were going to look at their garden or something, and I finally dawned on me she wants to buy this place. And it hit me for a second. She's been very gracious to me, giving me the time to put into the business that we're in, allowing me the freedom to travel, to have my dreams come true from a business standpoint, income standpoint. And it took me about 5 seconds to realize it's her time. It's her time to have something in life that she really wanted for our family and to provide that family atmosphere. And we do a lot of things at the house from a missionary standpoint. In fact, we did a lot of things in our house, and the first thing we did was invite this one church over, and 30 people were saved in our pool that when we opened it up, and got baptized. And then they ate. They promised to not to eat until you get baptized, so everyone decided to get baptized, I guess.
Well, if it wasn't for, I think the conventional wisdom on Bill Orender is that if it wasn't for Carol and your other family members, you would have turned into one of the greatest money hoarders of our generation. and and lived very modestly and just kept piling up the money.
Well, I've been known to squeeze a nickel, and I learned that there's two people on this planet that eat breakfast every day at McDonald's: me and Warren Buffett. And Bill Gates, by the way. I take that back. And we have a combined net worth of over $100 billion, all three of us.
Well, there's a lot to be said for following success. And so you seem to be on the right track there.
Like Mike Tuttle said, they say there's nothing cheap in America anymore. They've never met Bill Orender. Bill is so cheap that his son broke his arm and Bill rushed him to the airport to get an x-ray.
Well, this is probably not true, but I heard that way back in the beginning, you decided you're going to do something generous and take your family to Hawaii, the whole extended family. Was that right? And this is way back. And people, they're all looking forward to it. Bill's, taking us, treating us. We're going to go to Maui, I think, and get off. But Bill did all the planning. They went to some hotel. And as soon as they got in there, the kids started crying, and, it was not their dream hotel. Is there any semblance of truth in that story, Bill?
How did you know about that? That story. It's not a red letter day in my life, but there's a red face day in my life when Carol walked into that hotel, and she was on the phone and immediately to the Hyatt Hotel downtown, and we moved that day. Yeah, you're right, 100%.
I think Tuttle told me
that.
Trip
of a lifetime, not to be a trip of an embarrassing moment. Thank you for reminding me of that, best friend.
Well, there's always things to learn. A lot of times we think we're doing something wonderful, and we have to recalibrate the
it's a learning experience. Yeah.
Learning experience, transformative.
Right.
So, but you've used the house. You've been able, it is tough. It's expensive out there, but it is great to be able to add the extra support to your kids. But being able, like when a need shows up, having the options, like you were talking, like that makes sense to me. They need that. That's legitimate. I'm going to jump in there and be a difference maker. Because sometimes people need a push in life. Sometimes people need, to reset their lives financially and to be able to, or there's some kind of big, we all know what a big piece of of equipment, you can get a new printer for your office or this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden things that took all day are getting done in, a matter of minutes. And so that's true in other people's lives too. They're trying to do great things, but there's not enough income, or it's a stage where the business is getting started, and be able to step in when you see the need. That's the reward, or one of the biggest rewards after you get yourself taken care of. You're able to pay for your McDonald's breakfast and things every morning. But it's great to be able to go out there and make a difference and have that kind of not worry about, it's not going to impact you, whatever. It's just a matter of taking, this is some money, extra money we have. Let's put it to work, and let's put it to work over there.
I really want to bring it out that I think unless you're financially independent, you don't even see the need, or you're aware of the need and you just say, I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
Or, it's too bad. We had a guy that we used to deliver Christmas presents to, and he died without any life insurance, and inner city, and that wife needed money. Well, instead of saying, well, go talk to your pastor, or maybe you can call the government, we did something about it. And one day her son was going to give her some money, and her son was complaining of a toothache. So I called my dentist immediately and said, I'm sending these folks over, bill me. And then I talked to somebody who was going through a marital distress. Well, when you got money, you see the need. You say, listen, I've got somebody, go to counseling and they'll bill me. I can't tell you countless numbers of people have been to counseling because you're aware of the needs and you're prepared for needs. And that's one of the reasons God allows you the thought to be financially independent. So again, it's a privilege to be financially independent. And like one author said, if you're in America and you're not financially independent, where's your head been?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Bill, I want to get into, when we talk next, I want to get into the whole idea of getting these thoughts in your mind and getting on a track mentally that allows you to elevate yourself. Like when someone hears a statement like what you just said, where's your mind been? Well, wherever it's not been in the right place. And so what happens to successful people is they go through some kind of process, either it comes from inside them or events happen to them or whatever, where light bulbs go on in their mind and they wind up looking at the world and their situation differently, and they get on a climb and they start climbing towards bigger things and releasing in the process, releasing what they've got inside of them, you know, the talents and things like that. You know, it's no good to have the talent if it's not exposed, developed, and put in a spot to where it can make an impact. But for that to happen, you've got to get yourself thinking right. And it doesn't, you know, it's not going to be in one big flash of light. You know, usually there might be lots of flashes of light. So what I'd like to do is next time we talk, let's get into that and talk about when you're at that starting point. Maybe you are that person that's like, why am I not financially independent? You know, it's just time for me to get my act together. I don't want to be a victim anymore, and I'll work. You know, that's where people were willing to work around the clock, is so that they don't have to be a victim. You know, I remember the greatest thing for me was I was in high school. You know, during the school year, I'm playing sports all the time, every single sport. But in the summer, you know, you're working, and it's 16, 17 years old. I was up in the Hamptons and graduated from West Hampton Beach High School in the Hamptons. And, you know, you're out there on the beach carrying bricks and roofing up ladders. You know, they didn't have anything mechanized back then. And, you know, you got in the hot sun for minimum wage, or you're working I remember I had a 3-day stint at Tasty Freeze when I was, and on the third day, the reason I left was the manager, who I think was maybe 3 years older to me, except he'd already been in prison for 4 years. And he came in with this paranoid, threatened by everything. Somehow he thought after 3 days on the job, this 17-year-old was trying to take his job. And at the same time, I was working in restaurants, bussing tables to the, you know, early morning hours. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to pay any price. I don't know what education or this or that. I said, I don't know what it is, but I made up my mind then that I ain't going to work for minimum wage. And because I just learned the people who make the least money get treated the worst. And
that's right.
I am not going to spend my future 24 hours a day in that situation, because usually these are, not that bright that are over you, and they're full of paranoid delusions and psychosis, and they're pouring them out on you. It's like, for minimum wage, no, thank you. I got to do something. You know, it's kind of like flying a plane. You know, I'm not going to fly, you know, just above the ground. You know, and I'm not going to be. If I'm going to be in a helicopter, I'm going to try and be at 40,000
Way
feet.
up.
Let's get into that on our next episode. So thanks so much, Bill.
Thank you very much for having me, Larry. It's always fun with you.